kind of seems like an out of place section, but basically what we're going to be doing is correcting an entry that was post made, and we need to fix it now. Say we increase an asset that doesn't need it. So let's say we gave $10 to an asset we didn't need it. So we got to put the $10 in the correct asset, and we got to get rid of that $10 that we put into the asset. So we will often fix the error by making an entry, and then we're going to fix some ledger, adding and subtracting the error issues. So the first thing is having a memorandum for a correcting entry. We have memorandums for buying supplies on account. We know that we will use these, and it's just a small little note saying what's going on. So for this example, a cash payment for advertising expense was accidentally put into miscellaneous. So we want to fix that. So that's what they're talking about here. What's correcting entry? A journal entry used to correct an additional journal entry. No big deal. Accounting errors discovered, memorandums prepared, describing the correction that needs to be made. So you see in here that the transaction discovered that a payment for cash for advertising in March was actually journalized and posted as an error of miscellaneous expense instead of advertising. It was put in a miscellaneous. It should have been put in advertising. So what do? We do what should have happened the first time, debit advertising, and then we should credit miscellaneous expense, because that's what we put it in. It was posted as an error as a debit to miscellaneous expense. How do we fix a debit to miscellaneous expense? We got to do the opposite. We got to take it off our books. So if we put 120 in debit, because it says here, but really it wasn't supposed to be there, we put in credit, and then it takes it off the books. So debit advertising expense, what was supposed to happen, credit miscellaneous expense, because that's what happened. We debited miscellaneous expense. We have to do the exact opposite to get it off our books. And a source document for a correcting entry is a memorandum. That's what they're talking about here. So correcting an error and posting the wrong account. You can see sometimes errors postings made are not discovered until additional postings have been made. And so we have some check numbers throughout, but sometimes they don't work. And so what we want to do is make sure we can correct this. It says, for example, assume that a debit to supplies is incorrectly posted as a debit to prepaid insurance. Okay, so we accidentally put this in prepaid insurance. A line should be done through the incorrect posting in the prepaid insurance account, and then a correct posting should be made even though it's out of order. We'll understand that it's a correcting entry post. Okay, so that's what that is. Put a line through the one that was incorrect, post it in the correct one. Now, correcting an incorrect amount in the wrong column. Say we're in miscellaneous expense, and we put things in the wrong column. Or we listed something incorrectly up here. It says an incorrect amount may be entered into the account, an amount may be entered into the wrong column. All corrections should be made in a way at least no question there's anything wrong. So if it's supposed to be $45, we put the wrong amount. We cross that amount out like you see, and we put $45. If we put $30 in credit and did a wrong balance, and it was supposed to be $30 in debit and get to the correct balance, especially with our error, we put a line through it, we correct it. Put a line through it, correct it. That's what they're asking us to do. So that's it. That's the chapter.